It is something which our members are very interested in, and they expect us to be having this conversation with you. Broadly speaking, we believe Council continues to work hard to provide equitable outcomes and funding policies by using a wide range of the funding tools available under the Local Government Rating Act. The good use of the Uniform Annual General Charge and targeted rates are an example of this. We also acknowledge hard decisions around spending and the prioritisation of projects that have been made in the interest of getting rates increases to an acceptable level. We understand that further efficiencies have been gained by sharing resources and costs where possible with neighbouring councils. Our broadly supportive submission shows our appreciation of this approach. However, there are some issues which invite more questions than answers for us, and it is important to remind Council that they are heavily reliant on rates, making up 75% of the total funding pool, and that puts significant pressure on both yourselves and your rate-paying communities. We'd like to talk specifically on the land use, water quality and water allocation issue. As Council will appreciate, Federated Farmers has a keen interest in water quality and water allocation issues at district, regional and national levels. We make involvement in regional and district plans a priority and remain invested in the outcomes of the planning processes. The regional policy team, which supports the provincial executive and members, becomes specialised in resource management matters, the implementation of the Resource Management Act in particular. Within this context, Federated Farmers is well qualified to comment on the land use, water quality and water allocation issues discussed in the consultation document. Whilst we do not disagree with the issues and impacts identified in relation to fully allocated catchments and increased focus on improving water quality, we do have some concerns at the options Council has proposed and how they have been framed in terms of advantages and disadvantages. involvement should be on a more indirect basis, and we take some comfort this year in seeing an increased acknowledgement from Council that job creation and district promotion can in part be achieved by a focus on core business, such as infrastructure development and ensuring regulatory planning policies and processes are as efficient and effective as possible. We accept and understand the challenges ahead to Council with regards to projected population decline and providing South Waikato as a vibrant and attractive place to live and work. Our members live and work in the district too, and so sharing their Chief Executive's enthusiasm and drive to create a better future with vibrant communities and thriving business. We know that over recent years, a number of initiatives have been developed to address these issues, and we look forward to seeing the positive outcomes these initiatives are charged with creating. The focus we now have is on ensuring that processes are effective and efficient, with no overlap with duplicated effort, as this is simply a drain on money which would be better spent elsewhere. In this regard, there is some concern that there is a potential overlap between the role Council sees itself as playing with regards to economic development and district promotion, and the role of the South Waikato Development Trust. Without a better understanding of the separate objectives and strategies, it is hard to support the creation of a new marketing officer's role within the Council. We ask that Council better clarifies the distinction between the Council roles and the role of the Drive Trust, and to assess whether the new marketing role is really necessary to achieve the desired district promotion over and above the work the Trust is going to do. Farmers do have a particular interest in this aspect of Council spending because the vast majority of the funding stream for these activities comes from general rate, meaning that rural ratepayers contribute a significant and disproportionate amount. A final comment is just regarding some other key projects. We don't consider we are best placed to comment on the merits or otherwise of key community projects. That is best left to individuals and or directly affected members of the community. Our focus is on ensuring that the funding mechanisms are appropriate and that Council does prioritise to ensure limited resources are best utilised, getting the things bang for the buck, so to speak. That's it from me. I'm not sure whether no one has any questions.
And thank you for that. We almost welcome, and of course, although as you say, it took 2 years of the district plan, I think that we are, with your help and coming in that 2 years in the district plan, as I look around other districts, is pretty good. And the mere fact that I think that we have managed to work with you and our stakeholders, that we haven't had to go to the environment course and have it drawn out, is a tribute to your people working with our